When you live in St Helena, nothing feels like it needs to be in a hurry, and the Pashley really reflects that sort of lifestyle. Well, Pashley are British, and they are from the 1930s, and yet they seem to feel right at home in the Napa Valley today. The Oxbow Market is the perfect place to start your wine weekend. You can show up there for breakfast, and they've got ritual coffee, they've got all of the food you could ever wish for, bakeries, they've got an oyster bar, and they've got a great butcher shop.
So the jewel in the crown of Napa town is First Street, which is a residential street with brilliant examples of early 20th century domestic architecture. Jimtown Store is a little haven in the middle of the Alexander Valley. It's an awesome place to stop for a great coffee and home baking.
One of the big director names of the 20th century is Francis Ford Coppola, known for The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. And what he's best known for in this region is the Coppola Winery. It's up in Geyserville. It has a swimming pool, tasting rooms, a restaurant, and almost like a grand museum that's a tribute to some of the greatest films that he's ever made.
Armstrong Redwood State Forest is probably the closest place to see examples of 12, 13 and 1400-year-old redwoods. It's hard to put your finger on it, but there is a very deep sense of connection to the earth that you feel when you're standing below a 14 or 1500-year-old redwood.
Healdsburg's really one of our favourite towns in the Sonoma district. It's got a central square that's surrounded by homeware stores and fashion stores, bookshops, and our favourite store in Healdsburg is called The Shed. We love The Shed because it's got a juice bar, a charcuterie, a cheese bar. They do kombucha on tap, and they've got this fantastic restaurant that does the epitome in farm-to-table dishes.
My favourite thing about Sonoma is their cute little ice cream shop. They have got unusual flavours like blueberry and lavender, and then they have all the classics, Oreo cookies, salted caramel, all your favourites as well.
Sonoma is the home of where a lot of historically significant events took place in the formation of the Californian state. So the Mexican barracks are located there, and the flag that was originally designed to represent the new Republic of California was drawn up there. Typography, not so good, but the actual flag itself spawned a beautiful range of designs that include the famous bear and the Star of California.
Silverado Vineyards is owned by descendants of Walt Disney, and in some ways you could say that it is like Disneyland for adults. We were there for the paella party, which was a members event, and as well as the paella, we were there to try their 2001 solo single vineyard Cabernet.
What we love about the Tank Garage Winery in Calistoga is their boldness. They're all about creating wines that no one's ever seen before with great stories behind them. They've got an in-house designer, and they do really distinctive labels that tell stories about local scallywags, historical events or pop culture. Their wines are really exciting, really new, and the stories behind them really bring their wines to life.
There's a strong Hispanic influence throughout this part of Northern California, but you can particularly feel that on a Friday night at one of the local Mexican restaurants who have a mariachi band in town.
If you really want to stand out and be distinctive and be a winery that no one else can replicate, well, you need a weenie. And the Soda Rock winery up in the Alexander Valley have created this massive iron pig. It's got a little bit of rust on it, makes it even more distinctive.
You name it, I've probably carried it in the basket of my Pashley. Groceries, coffees, wine, hardware, dresses, you name it, it's been in the basket.
My Roadster Sovereign has 8 speeds. It's quite a heavy bike, but its upright riding position means that I can see where I'm going, and I feel very safe when I'm riding it around the local streets. They've got classic design lines, and their engineering is obviously from another era, and yet they feel so perfect to ride around in the Napa Valley, and they attract a lot of attention.
When I ride my Pashley around town, I never have to get changed, and I can go out with my makeup looking perfect and I come home with my makeup looking perfect. My Pashley really is the ultimate elegant way to cruise around town.